music, R&B, hip hop, pop,
I still get you.
reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
Side. Check it.
and sports talk.
Right here.
WorldStarHitRadio.com.
Welcome to the Connecting Atlanta Radio, hosted on the one and only, the number one fastest growing internet radio station in the United States, called WorldStarHitRadio.com. I have been blessed this evening to have three amazing ladies who are going to be speakers at an Empowerment Saturday. And so we have Miss Alice Rodriguez, Miss Robin, and Dr. Guthrie. Gaither, that's what I said. Dr. G.
Dr. G.
Dr. G.
Dr.
Dr.
G.
G. Oh, that's what you were saying.
That's
okay.
what I call her.
And so we're gonna go over a little bit of their story, how they led up to this big event that's coming up on February 27th. And so let's go ahead and start off with Dr. G, since it's your event, right? And tell us a little bit about your background and share a little bit of your testimony and what made you decide to put this event together.
Well, my background is that I was both in corporate America and pastoring a church. And when I was in my 20s, I thought I had it going on, and I moved to Texas, and it was there I had the best and the worst of things happen to me. There I met a man that I ended up marrying.
Okay.
And was in corporate America, was doing great, and I happened to miss God and marry someone who was abusive. And because I was never brought up in that type of environment, it did not take me long to realize that that's not what I was called to be or to do. And I just remember one day him telling me, there's something about you that makes me want to kill you. And
That was the Holy Spirit.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
And so basically, I remember that God told me, he said, do you want to be a victim or victorious? And I said, I want to be victorious. He said, get up. He said, I'll make your latter days better if you don't become bitter. And from that moment on began a passion in my life. I was in my 20s at that point. And began a passion in my life because I believe pain can paralyze you. I believe your purpose can be paralyzed by the pain of the past, by the hurt, by the disappointments, by the crisis. I believe every person was birthed with purpose, destiny in mind. But if we don't know how to press through our pain to pursue purpose and destiny, then we can die unfulfilled. You don't hear well done, good and faithful in the kingdom of God just for living. But there's a purpose. And so Empowerment Saturday is for women. I am so sorry. This is a women's event, but it is for women. And I have brought together women, some of the greatest movers and shakers, some of the greatest motivational, inspirational coaches, and Alice, who is dynamic and just life transforming. Yes. She is opening the conference up because I believe she sets the tone. I believe that she is going to speak right into the lives of women. I am expecting women from all over Metro Atlanta and beyond to come because I want them to see. I believe that women need to be able to be exposed to other women, hear their stories. You don't have to look like what you've been through. And I believe every woman who is coming has a story. And what they need to see is that you have options. But failure and giving up is not an option. The option is to press through your pain, fulfill your purpose and destiny, and that's how you hear well done.
That's awesome.
That's my story.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And Robert, tell us a little bit about what brought you over to the event. Tell us a little bit about your history, business that you have.
I have no idea why I'm here.
That's not true.
No.
You're on. She's on the flyer.
We know better. No,
and she said yes.
Honestly, for years and years and years, I've waited on other people to make things happen for me. I was always that way. It was always a family member or someone else that I was waiting to start things for me. And I just realized that so much of my life passed by and I'm stuck, literally stuck. And one of the things on my coaching wall in my office, it says, step forward, a new path awaits you. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche-ish, but I believe so many people live not realizing that. Like they honestly think that they're just going to get up every morning and whatever is dealt to them that day is what they're going to experience. They're going to go to bed at night and hope something better happens the next day. And I just decided several years ago to take some initiative for my life, take responsibility for myself. I had come out of a marriage that failed. And I had been around so many divorced women who just hated men, hated life, hated everything. You couldn't have a conversation with them about what they had for lunch without them crying, over what their ex-husband did or didn't do. And I just thought, how sad. I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I want to be the person that offers people hope. And one of the things that I'm going to share, and I don't want to give away too much, but one of the things I'm going to share on that Saturday is my little tag is own it, mourn it, and leave it. Take responsibility for your part that was played in your situation that got you where you are. Give yourself permission to mourn it. We very often want to just leave it, and we don't give ourselves permission to mourn it, but then don't wallow. Don't stay in a pity party and allow years and years and opportunities to pass by while you're waiting on someone else to make your destiny.
Yeah.
Own it, mourn it, and then leave it.
Right.
There's nothing back there. There's nothing back there that's going to help you. There's no amount of dwelling on it or anything. So I have a business called Step Forward Coaching. And the name is just perfect to me because that's what I love to see people do is overcome the things from their past that they could not control. It doesn't have to dictate their future. They can make steps to be different.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I heard someone say one time that they, and I think this, and I've said this for myself, and I do this for myself, is that if I'm going through something tragic or just whatever, overcome something and getting out of a situation, I give myself like 24 hours to mourn that. I have a one-day pity party, then I need to get over it and keep moving, And it's not just like get over it, but it's like really just allow myself to heal from that and just, continue to move forward. So thank you for sharing that. And Miss Alice, so Alice and I have known each other for about 10 years now. I had seen her speaking on a stage with her amazing husband, and I was like, well, I need to be mentored by her. And I found out where they were doing some mentorship programs and some educational meetings and so forth, and for the next several years tied into that. I remember Alice saying to me one time, I haven't figured you out yet. And that was just because I was just so closed off from everything that I didn't allow anybody, I guess even, which makes sense, it's kind of being revealed to me, even the Holy Spirit to be able to enter in to my life, even though I was saved, but still, So she's been a huge blessing to me in my life. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you're going to be talking about. You are an attorney. You had your own practice. You also have your own business that creates you residual income. And then now you're in a third phase in your life as well. In addition to everything else you have going on, you've added more onto your plate. So share a little bit about that and where you came from and so forth.
I'll do that. But first of all, I got to say, Jackie, thanks for letting us come. And I want to say thank you to World Star Hit Radio for having us here. Well, it is going to be life-changing, absolutely empowering and phenomenal. And I have to say this because I love the fact that you can tell where people have gone in their lives by little stories. Jackie, do you remember that time we went to South Georgia to do a marketing meeting, and Jackie she's telling the truth. She was very closed off, and that happens when you've been wounded, you've been in pain, people have hurt you. She was really closed off, but I could tell there was a sweet little girl in there, and so I got to give a shout out to her mother, who's also in here. But I could tell there was a sweet little girl in there, so she said, yes, I want to go with you. So I would take her and I would work all these women like Hebrew slaves at these marketing conferences. And Jackie wanted some information from me, and I would not give it to her the way she wanted to. I was coaching then, I didn't know it. And so she was sitting in the front seat of the car.
I said whatever.
And she and I got engaged in some intense family fellowship, because by then she was my family, right? So it's not an argument when it's a family, it's an intense family fellowship. So all these other women are sitting in the back of this big SUV, and Jackie's face gets red. And remember, she's never been vulnerable before. She's been tough. She's never been vulnerable. And suddenly I struck a nerve because she said whatever. And I told her that is not acceptable. acceptable.
not a
It is
good word.
never acceptable. And tears just started to stream down her face. And so I stopped to get gas. I pretended to stop to get gas.
Oh, so you
but I
did?
stopped so that I could embrace her. And then I called her outside of the car. And we went to the back of the car. And we had
remember
one
that.
of those moments that we will have on Saturday,
Awesome.
which was
Yes.
an empowering moment, a relational moment, a bonding moment, the opportunity to edify and exhort what I saw in Jackie.
That's awesome.
And really what is a tapestry and a thread in every woman. I'm married. I waited late to get married, and that's because I specialized in family law. I've been in the profession for 30 years, you know, so if you want to know about who your baby daddy law, I can tell you about it. And what I saw in that profession made me very skeptical about marriage and all of that, but ultimately I met the man for me in business. And I've been married for 13 years now. But I can tell you, prior to that time, as a woman who was unmarried, I went through struggles. What these ladies are going to learn is how to discover what they want to accomplish in their lives, and then how to develop themselves to do it, and how to be deployed into their mission and purpose, like Dr. G said. And Dr. G is hosting this on her birthday.
Yes, it's awesome.
Fabulously giving us a gift on her birthday. So we're going to help them discover and develop and then deploy them into their own lives, but into the marketplace, into the free world, to duplicate what they learn and to be the best people that they can be. And there will be nothing like this. I know people do conferences all over, but Jackie, there's some things you don't know about me because I've never told those things. Most people don't know that I've been arrested. I was arrested when I was in law school. Here I am going to law school, get arrested going to law school. Now, I wasn't out on the streets protesting. I was in my apartment. The cops showed up. And I had a roommate who took out a warrant on me because I put her out, you know. So when people look at you, they can't imagine, oh, you've been arrested. I've been indicted. Can you believe I've been indicted? Was going to have to go to a trial. People don't know that. So they see you on this side of the promise, and they would go, oh, how did you become a lawyer if you've been arrested? How did you become an attorney if you were indicted? Oh, I've had 4 IRS agents show up at my office when I started practicing law, armed, had guns under their vests, and they brought 2 women with them. So people look at those things, and this happened 20 plus years ago, but when people look at you, they see the other side of the promise. They don't see the fight, the struggle. I went through a challenging engagement that ended in domestic violence, and people would never think a strong young lawyer could end up in a situation like that. So we are not just going to empower people by helping them understand that your journey is unique, but your pain is felt by every woman who has ever sought to pursue her dream.
And the great thing about this is that every last woman, whether they're main speakers or panel speakers, and the one thing I like about our conference is it's not a preaching event.
There you go.
I wanted women who could empower, women that they could even ask questions, women who are going to come alongside to inspire, to motivate, to challenge. And that is what's so important.
It's going to be great.
You can go no further than your exposure. And I want
like that.
every
say that
woman-
again.
You got no further than your
That's
exposure.
good.
That's
That's
why
good.
I have their bios. I want women. Now, this is going to be the paradigm shift. I am believing that we can start the peeling of an onion, which always has layers. We want women to know how to collaborate, how to partner. We don't compete. We complete. We don't hate. We celebrate. We are here for each other. And too often, because of low self-esteem, because of lack of confidence, because of so many things, women do not gel. And what I'm hoping is that because we will have our stories, we will laugh, we will cry, we will share together, that out of this, and I have a table that says, help, I need a coach. Because I do believe I'm a life coach. Almost every woman is a life coach.
So we have Alice Rodriguez, who is a life coach. Bishop Ruth Smith Holmes, pastor and entrepreneur. She's a life coach and she's a pastor. Nicole Jackson, entrepreneur leadership expert. Robin, Natasha Reed, attorney and a life coach. Aisha Danzy, entrepreneur, and Beth Borden Goodman, entrepreneur, and then of course Dr. G.
And let me just say something when you mentioned the ones who at the bottom as the panel. Beth found out that she had cancer, double mastectomy. She said, "My breasts don't define me."
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
And that was a defining moment in her life.
Yes.
And she has rebounded. When you can learn to rebound from life trauma, you know, one phone call can rock your world.
Right.
One phone call that we
Changes
found a love.
everything.
One phone call that says you have, as a man, prostate cancer. One phone call that says your daughter's in the hospital, your son's in jail. One phone call. How you handle trauma can determine how you succeed. How you handle. You might get the life knocked out of you. My whole thing is you go down, but you come up fighting.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
looking for warring women, I'm looking for fighting women, I'm looking for women who understand that giving up is not an option.
Right.
Absolutely.
And these are the type of women who are going to stand before other women. It is going to be at the Marriott Stone Mountain Evergreen Hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
It is a beautiful setting. It includes a lunch with entertainment, live entertainment. It is going to be powerful. It is going to be a day. That's why we call it Empowerment Saturday, because everything that a woman will get will empower, will motivate, will inspire them, will challenge them, will convict them. And these two women represent all of those women on there who will stand up and say, "I'm one of you, but listen to my story."
So it's going to be, so if you want to go ahead and get your tickets today, it's February 27th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Atlanta Evergreen Marriott. So it must be great because Alice is traveling from the other side of the country to get over there. And if you go to Eventbrite, just search Empowerment Saturday, and you'll be able to see the link for that, or empowermentsaturday.eventbrite.com. Now, do you also have another website where they can also link to the event as well?
Well, that is the main one to get your tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
main one.
And let me also say, you can contact any of us through Facebook
Right.
or on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at LawGirl4God, number 4God, LawGirl4God. And of course, I think it's at Dr. Sherry Gaither. You can find her, Robin, at
It's Robin LeGros.
at Robin LeGros. You
Okay.
can contact us on Twitter. We
And
are
Instagram.
encouraging people.
Yes.
We're going to have a very limited VIP section for people who register early and don't wait till the last minute.
Yes.
Right.
And we are thinking, Alice is thinking about some very generous giveaway prizes for those people who register early enough, get in VIP seating. And we're going to have about 30 to 40 beautiful young women from 13 to 16 years old. They're a part of First Ladies International that is organized and run by Antoinette Dunstan. She provides private school for these girls, etc. But they're coming at that age to be able to begin early
That's
to
so
learn
important.
these lessons. And they will be hosting the speakers, hosting other women who are traveling. I know I got people coming from out of state. And so this event will be a bridge building event from those who have gone before, and we have fallen down 7 times, gotten up 8, and looking forward to what's going to happen for us in the future. We can teach them those things. And so the young will come combined, and they're age appropriate to hear the messages.
See, that's huge. That's huge to me because I have a 14-year-old daughter. And I'm able to already see just how different she approaches things in life than I did at her age. You know, and I'm so proud of that. I'm proud to have that I'm empowering her. You know, and her life is going to be so different. She has so much confidence that I didn't have, you know.
And the other thing I'm looking for is the women who are age 18 to 30. And the reason why is because I believe that had many of us had an opportunity to understand entrepreneurship, we would have started our own companies. We would have used our skills a little bit differently.
Yeah, I wouldn't have waited.
Right. And so, but all things work together.
Right.
Yes.
And it has made you who you are. But if we can take some women who are in their 20s to their 30s, who are now working in corporate America, who are now thinking that this is the only income stream that they can have. We want to show them how they can have various income streams and opportunities. And this would be great for young women. So I expect to see women there who range from 13,
Yes.
the young ladies, the first ladies, to those who are 70, 80, and because I said redefining age, stage, and assignment. Because as your dash gets shorter every day.
Right.
We do not have time to sit around and be victims and
Right.
and
You
nurse
got
our
it.
wounds.
Own it.
We have got to own it. We have got to be able to own it and leave it.
Yes.
2016, what you do in these first 3 months, or even after this day, can radically change the end of 2016. Your beginning and what you do to repositioning. Most people don't know how to rebrand, reposition,
Right.
rebound. All of these things are important if you're going to fulfill destiny.
Right.
So what do you think, and I know we've talked a lot about everything, like, and the stories and some of the things. So what is probably like the top 3 takeaways that someone will be able to get from the event, and that you think will either A, change their life, or, you know, move them in the right direction, and so forth? So I know it's empowerment, but what are the top 3 things that you're hoping that people
I'm
will
going
get
to
from
ask
it?
each one of them
Oh.
to say something.
Okay.
I'm so glad.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, ultimately, there is an unanswered question in every woman, especially women who are doing the best that they can, and they still seem to fall short. And there are reasons for that. There are a myriad of reasons, but one of the things that I want to focus on is the culture that impacts a woman. As a matter of fact, I've written a book that's going to be published in the spring, and it's a working title now. At one time I had On Fire as the title. Then I was on a television show a couple of months ago, and I met a woman who wrote a book, Woman on Fire. So I got to work on the topic. But there's one sentence that defines my book, and that sentence is, culture is deep down inside of you. If it's toxic, kill it before it kills you.
Oh, that's good.
And I really did a takeoff
powerful.
of this from Dr. Sam Chan's book, Culture Code, because he says culture defines who we've been with. Who we've been with. Your mother is here, but a part of her is in you.
Right.
Who we've been with and where we come from defines who we are. And so culture simply means this is the way we do things here. So the bottom line is, deep down inside every woman is a way things have been done.
Right.
Some of them are toxic, some of them are good things. We all have those. But what we want to help you do is identify the carbon monoxide that's in your life, because toxic culture is like carbon monoxide. You can't smell it, you can't see it, but you wake up dead. And that's how you get to be 40, 50, 60 years old, and you look back and you've done a lot. You've run, you've been on the hamster wheel, but you don't seem to have accomplished anything.
Right.
And some of it is as a result, a direct result of culture. Culture in the home, culture in the country, culture in the community. So what we want to help you to do is combat the culture that defines you in a way that limits you, and to teach you how to identify those things. And I'm going to shut up, but I got to say this, because we are a unified team of women. I feel really blessed. I've been blessed by all 3 of these women sitting here, but our talk is Unified Girls Talk. And when I look at Dr. G, I see what a blessing she's been for me, because
absolutely.
I'm the kind of person who I can study you, and every good thing about you I can transport into my life to bless me. I don't have to be in your ear every day. Robin was my coach in Dream Releaser coaching. And so there's
She
one
almost fired
woman,
me.
there's one woman who is not sitting at this table.
Right.
Her name is Dr. Brenda Chan.
Okay.
She was the visionary and the dreamer for Dream Releaser Coaching, which is a certified organization, company that certifies women so that you can take the next step after you identify the things that have kept you stuck. And because of her as a visionary, she's impacted all of our lives. And it takes a special person to have the kind of vision that can dream of putting women on one page where we edify each other.
Right. but I really have to give Brenda Chan, Dr. Brenda Chan, credit too for me. I mean, she's been in my life for years and years, and she's one of the people that gave me the initiating that I needed. You know, said, why are you waiting? What are you waiting on? You have all this gifting and ability. What are you waiting on? And then Dr. Gaither was my coach trainer the whole time I went through Dream Releaser coaching. So yeah, we're all products of DRC. My thing that I hope the women go away from is what I said earlier, is that your past does not have to dictate your future.
Okay.
You do not have to wear a label just because someone tries to put it on your forehead. You can decide, I'm not going to be that statistic. I don't have to be that person just because you say I do or because you were.
That's right.
I can be different. So the empowerment thing for me is going to say, leave it. Come on, leave it. There's a new path waiting on you. It's just right there. Just take this step. And I want us to give them the potential pride, the whatever it is that they need, the hope that they need to step forward.
And they're going to have practical tips for how they leave it. Because one of my things is, don't tell me to do something without giving me instructions.
Give me a solution.
That's right. Don't tell me, oh, leave it, oh, forget it, oh, let it go. Yeah, you want to tell me how? If you tell me how, then we can move
I would have already done that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we have 2 minutes left.
Important for me is that I believe that I am a midwife. I believe that my assignment in the body of Christ, my assignment in corporate America, my assignment period, is to help people to birth their dreams.
Yes.
Midwives come alongside to help. It's not about them, it's about the person. And so I believe that the rest of my life is being spent helping other people to dream big, birth their dreams, and not allow anything from the past, anything from their pain, to cause them to abort their assignment.
Oh, that's awesome.
What
I love that.
I like that.
Yeah, so we'll use the words fight fearlessly.
Fight fearlessly.
We're going to teach
I
them
like
how
that.
to come out of
Fight
there and
fearless-
fight
fearlessly.
fearlessly.
That's
what
it.
we'll
That's
get.
what we got out of that. So you're going to be able to learn how to fight fearlessly. And we want to thank these three beautiful ladies, women, for coming on today and blessing myself and World Star Hit Radio and through Connecting Atlanta Radio. So thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break and bring on our next guest, Hotep with Hustle University. Thank
The
you.
hottest music, R&B, hip hop, pop,
I still get you.
reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
Side. Check it.
and sports talk. Right here. WorldStarHitRadio.com.